Mommy, no.
Hold on, Cooper.
See, sitting home.
Okay, Cooper, hold on.
Hello, Miss Hall.
Good morning.
Miss Hall,
What's up?
I'm gonna go ahead and warn you if I have to leave the camera, it's because my dog's either wetting my bed or has to pee.
God bless it. You go take care of that cute puppy. It's okay.
Be quiet, Howard. Bro. Hey, Miss Hall.
Good morning. All right, you'll make sure your video is on and that your volume is on mute.
Miss Hall, me and Paige are zooming together.
Okay, sounds good.
Mama, can you hold me now? Yeah.
No, Cooper, I can't write nobody. All right, we'll give everybody another second to be able to log on. And I'm gonna grab my coffee because it's still early and I still need coffee.
Oh, Mommy, look. Look. Hey, guys. Hello, guys. Hi, dudes. Hello. Hey, guys. Is it a good day to go swimming? I'm crazy. Mommy, look.
All right,
I need help.
let's see who else. All right, sorry guys, hang on one second. I'm getting a text from a few people.
Miss Hall.
Yes.
Micah can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
Wait, what?
Tell Micah can't hear you, and what I had to do, that's why I was so late on the last Zoom, I had to download Google Chrome and use it through Google Chrome.
Okay.
I couldn't use Safari, it wouldn't let me. And whenever he does it, he has to hit join computer audio.
On the top left corner, there's like a little speaker button you have to press.
Yeah, that's what I had to do. I had to go through that whole thing, and it was really, really annoying.
Oh my God, there's 50 people in here.
Yeah, it's going to be glitching out. My computer's already moving slow.
I can't even use my computer because my mom's computer is broke, so she has to use my computer to help her computer. I'm about to be able not to use mine because my dog's eating it.
Yeah, Collins, what the heck, dude?
Claire, did you just say your dog's eating your computer?
Yes, I
What?
did.
I think you should get that checked up if your dog's eating a computer.
Please don't let the cute puppy eat the
Claire,
computer.
oh my god.
Why is it camera?
I'd take him to a CAT scan.
Hey, choose on the stream. It.
Okay, guys. So
How come
I will go ahead and warn you. Y'all will just have to excuse my son in the background, okay? Because it's just real life right now, and yeah.
He's an amazing singer.
Oh, yes.
Y'all see me say, "Hang on one second, I have to mute it." That probably means that I'm having to take the dude outside and go give him a spanking or something.
My dog wants to say hi.
Oh, hi, the puppy.
I would bring my dog, but my dog's too big for that. Okay.
Okay, guys. So
Dad, my
here's what we need to do. All right. I'm going to call roll real quick just so I can see who's here, who's not, and I can see if anybody's having trouble. So give me just a second. All right. Yes, Kuba. Nope, you're not right now. All right. So, where'd my pen go? Hold on. All right, guys. When I call your name, just unmute for me a second and say here, okay? If it is not you, then do not say here. All right, Lane.
Here.
Okay, Carter.
Here.
Wesley.
Here.
Madeline.
Here.
Hunter.
Here.
Caleb. I saw Caleb typing, so I think
Here.
Caleb's here. Yeah, here it is. Madison and Mackenzie.
Here.
Okay. Lillian.
Here.
Emma.
Here.
Amelia.
Here.
Bailey. Okay, she had a doctor's appointment this morning, so she'll be on later. Elisha.
Here.
Christian.
Here.
Sophie.
Here.
Alyssa.
Here.
Reed.
Here.
Claire.
Here.
Addison.
Here.
All right. Allie Armstrong.
Here.
Emily.
Here.
Lexi.
Here.
Sean.
Here.
Lydia.
Here.
Aiden.
Here.
Kaylee.
Here.
Grant.
Here.
Lindsay.
Here.
Jeremy.
Here.
Millie Beth. All right. Blakely.
I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
Here.
Collins.
Here.
Micah. Let's see.
He
Micah
said he's
is-
here in the chat.
Okay, got it.
Here.
Dara.
Here.
Paige.
Here.
Hannah. I thought I saw Hannah. Hannah, are you here, baby?
Yes, ma'am.
Got it. Kenna.
Here.
Tucker.
Here.
Shannon.
Here.
Katie.
Here.
Ben.
Here.
Okay. Avery.
Here.
Colby.
Here.
Elliot.
Here.
Allie, Holland,
Here.
Anna and Ella,
Here.
Briggs,
Here. Hey,
Maybe.
Caleb just said that he's gonna just type through chat because his audio is lagging.
Okay.
If anybody saw
Joel,
that.
let me know if he's typing on something on chat, okay? Because I won't be able to see it while I'm teaching, but just let me know, Briggs, okay? All right. Libby, you here?
Yeah.
Cooper,
Here.
Tegan,
Here.
Mason,
Here.
River,
Here.
Mallory,
Here.
Addie Grace,
Here.
and Anna Kate. Anna Kate, you there, baby? I thought I saw Anna Kate's name.
Yeah, she's on here. I can see it.
Okay. All right, good deal, guys. Okay.
Mom, you get
No, not yet, baby. I need to help you. Okay. So just about everybody is on here. All right. Couple of things. First of all, give me a thumbs up if you all can see the screen that has the stuff on it.
Good.
Okay. All right, perfect. So make sure you have your math book because we will need it a little bit later, probably.
Miss Hall.
Yes. Who said Miss Hall?
Miss Hall, I'm gonna go get my math
Miss
book.
Hall.
Okay. Yes.
I think it's Anna Kate.
Yeah,
Anna
that sounds.
Kate, what, baby?
I don't think she can hear you. I'm gonna text her. I'm gonna see.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think she.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put on the screen our label, for today's lesson. Now you'll notice page number wise that we backed up a little bit. That's because we had skipped over investigation 5 before Christmas and we're coming back to it now. Okay. And investigation 5 is a little bit of a longer lesson. So we're basically going to split it in half. We're going to do half of it today and half of it tomorrow. Because I knew that today's lesson was going to take a little while longer simply because trying to get all of you on Zoom and make sure everybody's good and situated and all that kind of stuff. I will tell you guys that if for some reason your Zoom like cuts out or something during the lesson, or if you miss something, I'm going to upload the video of the Zoom recording to our YouTube channel in just a little while after we finish. And that way, at any time, if you need to, you can go back and you can view the video and stuff again. All righty. So it'll be there from here until the end of the school year in case you need to look back at it and view it. Okay. So it's going to be different trying to teach all 56 of you at one time, but we can totally do this. Just make sure for me that you pay attention. Okay. That you're staying focused on here, that we're not just like randomly texting people about, hey, what are you doing during it? If somebody's having an issue with something on Zoom or whatever, and you're trying to help them out with that, that's totally fine. I get that, okay? But just make sure that you stay focused because we're doing these lessons and moving forward just like if you were here in the classroom, all righty? All right, Madison Mackenzie, what's up? I saw where you raised your hand.
Are we not doing mental math?
No, we're not doing any mental math today.
Okay.
All righty. So I'll give you guys just another second to label your paper for me.
Miss Hall.
I'm going to slide my podium over to where I can see it a little bit better. And get my coffee in hand because y'all know I need my coffee in the mornings, especially after a long Christmas break and sleeping late. So yeah.
I'm on screen. I can
No, Cooper, you don't need to be on the screen. Okay, wave to everybody and say hi, and then you need to go sit down.
Hi.
Okay, there we go.
Hi.
No. Oh, real life people. This is what happens when you're a teacher teaching virtually and your kids are with you as well. So, yeah.
Did he,
Do what, baby?
he just look at us?
Probably so, because he's a 5-year-old boy who's crazy. Some of y'all that know him personally know very well what I mean. All right. Okie dokie. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. See, as you can see, we're doing investigation 5 today. If you want to kind of follow along in your book a little bit, if that will help you, your page numbers are up there. You are more than welcome to. Make sure when you write your date up at the top that you have 21 as our year. Since we've moved over to 2021 now, thank goodness we all survived 2020, and hopefully this year's going to be better. We're going to pray for that and go with it and know that God's going to teach us in the midst of it anyhow. All right, so let's get started. All right, so displaying data or data, however you pronounce it, is what we are going to be talking about in Investigation 5. And there's going to be several different ways that we are going to practice displaying data and being able to read the data that is displayed. Now, before we do, we have a little bit of vocabulary terms that we want to know with this. So make sure that you're writing this down as well. So the first one that we have is going to be a type of data, and it is called qualitative data, okay? Qualitative data. So qualitative data is data that is related to categories, right? It is related to categories. All righty. So with qualitative data, we are first going to display it using a pictograph. So a pictograph is just simply a graph that uses pictures. All of us have seen pictographs before, and they are things that we've done from the time we were in preschool on, especially when, say, you were graphing like different color Skittles or something like that. All the cute little stuff like that is using pictographs. So what I'm going to do in just a second is I'm going to put a pictograph up here on the screen for you as well. This pictograph is going to be in your book. So you don't necessarily have to draw this graph, but you might want to put like C pictograph on page 264, okay? But I have it up here, that way we all can see it at one time to be able to talk about what's going on with it. Cooper Hall, go. No, go.
Let me tell you something.
What do you need, son?
I'm hungry.
Okay, well, you have a biscuit, go eat it. Okay. All right, I see you laughing, Colby Hall. I see you laughing. All righty, so let's look at this graph right here. So we have a graph, and it's the same one you see in your book, that talks a little bit about U.S. car and truck production. And we have different categories right here. We can see that one of the categories is cars and trucks that are produced in Michigan. Another category is Ohio, Kentucky, Missouri, and other states. So this right here is a way that we can display qualitative data, data that is related to the categories. So as we look at this graph, excuse me, we can see that we have a key. Now in pictographs, guys, the thing that you always want to look for first is the key. That tells you exactly what each of the little pictures represents. In this case, one little car right here represents 1 million cars or trucks, okay? So knowing this, let's answer some questions, all righty? The question is, how many cars and trucks are produced in Michigan? Okay, so first let's talk about how many are produced in Michigan. I do want you to write down the questions, okay? That way when you look back at your notes, you can be able to see what it was we were talking about instead of just writing the numbers, okay? Anna Kate, you have a question, baby?
Yes, ma'am. What page are we on? My internet kept glitching out and I
That's
couldn't,
okay.
get
You're on page 264. All right, so the first thing you're writing down is how many cars are produced in Michigan. All right, well, we have on our pictograph 3 cars. Now, that doesn't mean that there's only 3 cars produced in Michigan, does it? Remember, each one of those pictures of those cars represents 1 million cars or trucks. So, Briggs, tell me how many cars and trucks are produced in Michigan?
3 million.
3 million is correct. Very good. There are 3 million cars and trucks produced in Michigan. 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. All right. So the next question is how many are produced in the 4 named states? So you can see we have 4 states named right up here. And then the other one says other states. So we want this first 4. So what am I going to do here to be able to find out that total? Tucker, what do I need to do? Try unmuting, sweetie. I can't hear you.
You would add?
Very good. I would add them. So that's 3 million plus 2 million. That's 5 million. Plus another million is 6 million. And plus another million is 7 million. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 million cars and trucks are produced in those 4 named states. Okay. In the 4 named states. All right, Briggs, you have a question, baby? Briggs, you good? I saw where you raised your hand on the thing.
I'm good. I didn't mean to click that.
That's okay. Anna Kate, baby, you have a question?
No, I just forgot to lower my hand.
Okay, got it. All righty, so now it says in the entire nation. So what it means when it says in the nation means that we need the total of all of these right here, okay, of all of them. So let's add it up and let's find all of them. So we said these 4 right here, that's 7 million. Then we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 million. What could, yes, you can draw on the board, buddy. All righty, so 12 million. All right, now I'm just gonna throw some random questions that are not up there. Paige, how many cars and trucks are produced in Kentucky and Missouri combined?
2.
2 million, very good, 2 million. All right, I see Cooper. Let's see, Mackenzie, how many cars and trucks are produced in Ohio and other states?
7 million.
7 million, awesome, very good. So remember, the key is the first thing you want to look at in the pictograph because that tells you how much each picture is worth, and then you can go from there. All right, questions about pictographs so far? Okay, so let's look at the next part then. So the next part, what we're going to do is we are going to take that information from that pictograph and we are going to display it in a horizontal bar graph. Horizontal meaning going from side to side. So that means our bars are going from side to side. On this one, you're actually going to draw this graph. And I've kind of gotten you started a little bit right here. You can see that our title is US car and truck production in millions. And then we have our same categories right here. So what we need now is we need to have our scale, okay? Our scale, since it's horizontally right here, our scale is going to be at the bottom. And we can see that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in millions, all right? Whoever theirs is labeled iPad, I saw where you raised your hand. Go ahead and holler out if you got a question.
That is me, and does this count as an example?
Just put number 1 beside it, it's fine.
Miss Hall, do we
Yes,
draw the U.S. car and truck production?
yes, draw everything that you see on your screen right now, yes. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a second to get this part drawn. Ben, you have a question, baby?
I need to go let my dog out.
Okay, go ahead, honey, you're fine, go.
Okay.
All right, let's take about 30 more seconds to make sure we've got that part drawn, and then we're going to talk about drawing the bars for it.
Miss Hall,
Yes.
what does it mean by in nation up at the top part of the other one?
In the nation, basically that just means, so it listed the 4 states that most of the cars and trucks are produced in, and then other states would be all the rest of the states in the country. So in the whole nation just means we would combine all of them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, so now let's draw the bars on here. So we know that we're starting over there kind of at 0, which is our edge, okay? Now, Michigan, if you look at the pictograph, you see that there are 3 cars, so that means 3 million cars and trucks, right? So our bar then, we want to go from the edge all the way down to where the 3 stops right here. Okay, then we shade in that bar right there to let us know that's how far over it's going to go. So since there's 3, we start at the edge, go over until we are even with the 3 at the bottom, draw your line, connect your bars, and shade it in. All right, for Ohio, let's see, Amelia. How many cars and trucks were produced in Ohio?
Two
2 million, very good. So for Ohio, we would start at the edge. We would go over to the 2 and draw our line, fill in our bar, and shade it in. So by looking so far at the qualitative data that we have and looking at the bars, we can see the Michigan bar goes farther, so it obviously produces more cars and trucks than Ohio does. All right, let's look at Kentucky. On our pictograph for Kentucky, it showed us 1 car, so that's 1 million. So for our bar, we're going to start at the edge and go over to the 1. So our little bar right here for Kentucky is nice and short. It's just a cute, petite little bar. Same for little old Missouri. Missouri produces 1 million cars. So again, start at the edge, go over to the 1, draw your line, connect it to make your bars. And there is our little bar from Missouri. So those are the top 4 car producing states. Now we're going to combine all the other states together. And in total, the other states make 7 million, Cooper, stop. The other produce 7 million cars and trucks. So that means, not 7 million, why did I say 7 million? I meant 5 million. All right, so on this one, we start at the edge, and we're going to go over to the 5. And that's where we will draw our line, and we will fill it in. So what this graph kind of shows us right here is even though Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, and Missouri are the top 4 states in terms of production of cars and trucks, their total is still less than all of the other states combined. Okay, so the other states combined make up the most of the production, but those are still the top 4 car and truck producing states. All righty, so let's answer a question about this now. And I do want you to write down this question, please. Cooper, go. I do want you to write down this question. And the question says, what fraction of U.S. car and truck production took place in Michigan? What fraction? So now that's a question that we kind of have to give some thought to for a moment, because they don't tell us the exact numbers, but we can most definitely figure it out. What, son? No, because Lainey's doing her schoolwork, or at least supposed to be doing her schoolwork. All right, so what we want to do in order to find our fraction, you know the denominator of a fraction is your total in the whole thing. So that means we need to combine all of these to see the total amount produced. So we have 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7, plus 5 is 12. So that tells us that our denominator is going to be 12. All right, I'm going to write it over here so we can see it. All right, our denominator is going to be 12. That's kind of a hard one to see. Hold on. Let me change colors a little bit. We'll do red. All right, so denominator is 12.
Yeah,
Now the question is talking about Michigan. So looking at Michigan, go over to the bar and down. So that's 3 million. So 3 million out of 12 million. Can that fraction reduce? Yes, it can. Let's see, Shannon, what's it going to reduce to?
1/4.
1/4 is correct. Very good. So we could say 1/4 of the cars and trucks in the country are produced in Michigan.
It's not 3/4.
1/4.
1/4. Yes, 1/4. Mommy, what's 3 plus 12?
What's 3 plus 12? All right.
13?
No question. Any questions on this one before we move on?
It's 12 plus 13, 15.
12 plus 3 is 15. Yes, Cooper. Okie dokie. Cooper's decided to do a little bit of math with us today too. All right, so let's go ahead and let's move on from this one. Let's talk about another way that we can display qualitative data. And that's by using a circle graph. Okay, a circle graph. Let me fix this real quick. Yikes. Come on, thing. All right, there we go. Okay, so a circle graph is a method of displaying data, and it's often used to show percentages or parts of a whole. Now, it's most commonly referred to as a pie chart, okay? That's a lot of times what we will refer to it as is a pie chart. But the technical name for it is a circle graph.
Mommy, look what I did. I love you, Mama.
I love you, buddy. Go draw on my board for me. Please. All right, I'll give you a second to write that definition down. It's a decent bit of words, so I know it takes you a moment. Excuse me.
Okay. Plus.
All right, so just to kind of give you an example of sort of what it looks like, if I were to have a circle like this, now I know it's not a perfect circle, but y'all know my artistic abilities are somewhat limited. And maybe I had one, and it kind of looked like that. All righty, that would be an example of a circle graph or a pie chart. Okay, and within these things, I would have labeled what it was, but that's just a rough sketch to let you see and get you an idea of what I'm talking about. All right. So now let's look. Next, what we have is a sector. Okay, a sector is what you're going to hear us talk about when I'm referring to a piece of the circle that represents that category. You can kind of think of it as a slice of the pie, all right? So at Christmas time or at New Year's, if you had family or friends over and y'all had dessert and you had a big pie, lemon pie is my favorite, my mom made some at Christmas and they were delicious. But if you take that pie and of course you cut it into the different slices, each of those slices would be a sector of that pie, okay? So a sector is what we call a piece of the circle that represents a category. Now from sectors, we form what we call central angles. Central angles. These central angles are formed by the sectors. The vertex is in the center of the circle, and the rays of the angles are called the radii of the circle. Remember, radii is just the plural form, meaning there's more than one radius. So again, I'm going to make a rough sketch just to kind of show you what it is I mean. So if this is my circle right here, and I'm going to use some different colors to demonstrate it. So if I had, here's my center, and I had one sector that looked like this, and then I had another sector that went from here to here, and then maybe another sector that went this way. Right here in the middle, right here, this is my central angle, okay? That center part of the circle, that is the central angle, the one that all of them have in common. So think about for a second like your bicycle, all right? On a bicycle wheel, you have the part in the middle that keeps it connected to the bicycle, right? And then from there, you have the spokes that are going off of the center, connecting it to the outer part of the wheel. That center part is the central angle of all of those spokes. So right here, you've got the rays for this angle. Here's an angle right there. Here is an angle right here. Here is an angle right here. Your vertex right there is in the center, and your rays are the radii. Now, I know this is most definitely a new term that most of you have not had before. Don't panic on this one. We're going to continue to practice this and continue to work on it, okay? So stay calm. Don't worry. No panicking. All right. Questions about this part right here before I move on? Okay, then let's do some practice with it. Let's talk about how we actually would make a circle graph, okay? How do we go about making a circle graph and constructing it with the data that we have? Well, there are a few simple steps that kind of guide us along that process. Simply 2 of them. To construct a circle graph, first what we would do is we would find the fraction for each category. And we're going to do that in just a second, so you'll see what it looks like. And then after you find the fraction for each category, you would then multiply that fraction by 360 degrees to find the actual measure of that category or sector of the circle. Alrighty. Now, you guys are not going to construct one yourself today with all the measurements, but I'm going to show you how to do it, okay? So I do want you to write down the notes about how to construct one. Once we get back in the classroom, I've got the protractors that I had ordered, and we'll go from there of actually practicing constructing one, okay? So focus right now on making sure that you understand how to construct it. So I'll give you a few more seconds to write that down for me. All right, anybody need more time on writing that one down? Just holler out if you do.
I do.
Okay, go ahead, take a few more seconds.
I do.
If you finished writing down, there's one more thing I want you to add, okay? Under central angle, I want you to add under there that the total of all central angles equals 360 degrees. Just to remind us that that's what a circle equals. Measurement of a circle is 360 degrees. Micah, you have a question, sweetheart? Let's see.
Miss Hall, in the last Zoom, he said his mic wasn't working.
Okay. Only thing I know is to let him know that try accessing it on Google Chrome and try making sure that you click on computer audio.
Miss Hall,
Yes.
if either of those don't work for him, he can like text it to me and I'll tell you if he needs like a question or anything.
Okay. Sounds good. Yes.
All right.
Or he could just use the chat.
I know, but I'm saying
Micah? Okay. He says he's done that then. I'm not positive. Okay. Micah, sweetheart, try maybe to just follow along, and then if you've got a question, then just text it to somebody, and then they can ask it for me, or they can ask it for you, and then I can answer it from there.
Miss Hall,
Yes.
can I go let my dog inside?
Yes, sweetie, go ahead. All righty. Let's see. Who else has raised their hand? Somebody else raised their hand. All right. Micah, we are going to talk about just the pie charts today, and I'm going to show you how to draw one, but you guys are not going to actually draw it with the measurements. We're going to do that when we come back. Oh, yikes, hold on. I accidentally clicked the wrong button. Okay, there we go. All right, so hopefully everybody has this part written down. If you do not or ran out of time, that's okay. Just go on YouTube later and look at our video and you can jot it down from there or get a copy from someone else. Excuse me. Okay. So let's look now right here. Okay. This graph right here is on page 265 in your book. Now, I would recommend go ahead and drawing this one just because it's a pretty small one and it's not too bad. What we are going to do, as you guys saw just a second ago on this last slide, hold on one second, down here where we're talking about constructing, first we're going to do number one. We're going to find the fraction for each of the categories, okay? So let's take a look at our chart right here. Let's find the fraction for the categories. So we can see it tells us the total at the bottom. The total is going to be our denominator, right? Your total is always, always, always going to be your denominator. Then the particular category you're looking at, the number that is there is what's going to be your numerator, okay? So if we look at Michigan, we know our denominator is going to be 12, numerator is 3, so the fraction for Michigan is going to be 3/12. 3/12. Avery, do you have a question, sweetheart?
Yes, ma'am. What page is this on?
This is on 265.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All righty. Now let's find the fraction for Ohio. Again, your denominator is always going to be your total, which is 12. The numerator is 2, so it's going to be 2/12. Now you'll notice that right now I'm not reducing anything, okay? You'll see why in just a minute. So right now I'm not reducing it, just keeping it normal. All right, now let's look at Kentucky, the fraction for Kentucky. Your denominator is your total, which is 12. And then your numerator is 1. So we have Kentucky's fraction is 1/12. It'll work the same way for Missouri. Missouri's also going to be 1/12.
Miss Hall,
Yes, sweetheart.
it cut out when you said the Kentucky one, so I didn't get
Okay. So Kentucky, we're looking, we know our our denominator is going to be the total. So the total is 12. It has 1 right here for Kentucky. So the fraction would be 1/12.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, Cooper, look at mommy. Cooper, lower your voice just a little bit, please. All righty, and then lastly, we have the other states. Our total is 12, that's our denominator. Other states is 5 million, that's going to be our numerator. So 5/12. So what this means is that if we added these fractions together for all, we should get 12/12. Okay? So that is step 1 in constructing a circle graph. We are finding, first of all, the fraction for each. Now, again, remember we're talking about qualitative data right here. Qualitative is telling us categories of something. All right, so now that we know the fractions, that's step 1 of the constructing a circle graph. Step 2 is to find the measure of the central angles. Now to do this, what we're going to do is we are going to take our fraction for each category and multiply it by 360 because there's 360 degrees in a circle, okay? This then is going to tell us what the measurement of the angle, the central angle for that sector is going to be, all right? I'm gonna slide this over just a hair, so I've got some room to work. So first of all, let's determine what our central angle is going to be for the sector for Michigan, okay? For Michigan. So that means for Michigan, it's 3/12 is our fraction. So we're gonna say 3/12 times 360, which is over 1. Okay. Now, if I need to use cancellation, then I can use cancellation first. Or if you want to multiply it and then divide, you can certainly do that as well. In this case, I'm going to cancel just because to me it makes it easier. Okay. Hey guys, hang on 1 second for me, okay? Okay, sorry. All right, so I'm going to use cancellation, and I'm going to say, okay, 12 and 360. 12 goes into 360 30 times. 12 goes into 12 1 time. All right, now that's a bit nicer, okay? 3 times 30 is 90. 1 times 1 is 1. So 90 over 1 means that Michigan's central angle is going to be 90 degrees. 90 degrees. So what that means is if I were constructing my circle and my circle graph, then I would set my protractor to 90 degrees. That would draw my line to form my angle. So in this case, it's actually going to form a right angle, okay? All righty, let's see. Who raised their hands? Avery. Yes, ma'am.
I didn't raise my hand.
Oh, okay, sorry. It was still showing. Let me take that part off then.
Oh, my bad.
That's okay. All right.
I need to plug in my
Lillian, yes,
computer.
Sometimes I don't get cross multiplying.
Okay, that's okay. And right here, we're not actually cross multiplying. What we're doing is we're just reducing right here, okay, and canceling. Now, if you don't want to cancel, if that makes it where it's kind of confusing for you, if you want to reduce the first fraction, if you wanted to reduce 3/12 down to 1/4 and then do that, you are more than welcome to do that as well. That is totally fine with me.
I need to plug in my computer quickly.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, guys. All right, let's see. Who else raised their hand?
Thank you, Miss Hall.
You're welcome, baby. All right. Anybody else? Question? It's still showing somebody's got their hand raised. I'm trying to go through the screen to look. Anna Kate, do you have a question, baby? Okay.
So when you are drawing, so if you were drawing the circle and drawing all of the sections, would
Yes.
Instead of having to go through all of that, could you just like do it as like real fractions, like you were cutting up a circle in fractions?
Not necessarily. It's going to come out very similar to that, but you're going to want to make sure with the angles because your protractor is what's going to help you with the angles. All right, Grant, you have a question, baby?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I need to use the restroom.
Yeah, go ahead, sweetie. You're fine. All right. Let's see. Everybody else good? Trying to check and see. Okay. Good deal. So what we're going to do to kind of finish up with today is we're going to finish finding the central angles of these others. That way we will be prepared and ready. So now let's look at Missouri, or well, let's go with Ohio next. Okay, let's go with Ohio. Hear this? All right, so Ohio, our fraction is 2/12. Oh, hold on. I accidentally erased this. Michigan, stay with the 90 degrees, please. Thank you. All right, so Ohio, we have our fraction of 2/12. It would probably be easier to go ahead and reduce 2/12. So we'll say that that is 1/6 times our 360 total degrees in a circle. Righty. So now I can either cancel or go ahead and multiply and then divide. If you want to cancel, then the 6 would turn to a 1 and the 360 would turn to 60. Or I could multiply and just simply say 360 divided by 6. Either way is fine.
And it's
All right, Cooper, move it, dude. All right, and this is going to be 60 degrees. Okay, so my sector right here for Ohio is going to have a 60-degree central angle.
Mommy, I want to draw something on here. Mama. Everybody.
60-degree central angle.
Mommy, I just put
We're almost done, buddy. Give me a second.
Mama.
Cooper. All right, so now let's talk Kentucky. All right, and since Kentucky and Missouri are actually the same, then we can just do it one time and be able to get it. Woohoo, I like the ones that are the same. All righty, so Kentucky, we have 1/12. So to find our central angle, oops, let me put it back on pen. To find our central angle, we have 1/12 times the 360 degrees in the circle. Okay, I can either cancel if I want to cancel or multiply and then divide, either one. I'm going to cancel. 12 and 360 have 12 in common. 12 goes into 12 once. 12 goes into 360 30 times. Okay, so 1 times 30 is 30. 1 times 1 is 1. Cooper, do you want a spanking in front of everybody? So that means that Kentucky has a 30-degree central angle. 30-degree central angle.
Hey, Mommy, I love you.
I love you too, Cooper. All right, Missouri, we know is the same thing. So Missouri's is also a 30-degree central angle. And then last but not least, we're going to calculate the central angle for the other states category.
Mommy, look.
All right, our fraction here is going to be 5/12. So we have 5/12 times 360 over 1. Cooper, go let your sister in the room, please.
Okay.
Now 5/12, I can't reduce that fraction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to cancel like I have been. Or you could multiply first and then divide. 12 goes into 12 once. 12 goes into 360 30 times. And 5 times 30 is 100. Whoa. Hold on, my pen went crazy for a second. 150 degrees.
Mommy, can you go outside?
Yes, you want to go outside. All right. So the other states is going to have the largest angle, right? So we're going to stop there for today. Tomorrow, I'm going to take these numbers that we've just done and the central angle measurements, And we're going to actually construct, or you're going to watch me first of all, construct the circle using those central angle measurements. And then we're going to talk about one other type of data. Instead of qualitative that talks about categories, we're going to talk about quantitative, which focuses more on numbers. Okay? So you do not have anything for math that you have to submit on LMS today. So you're good with me after Zoom. If there's anything that you don't understand for today's lesson, make sure you email it to me and I will see if I can kind of help you with that before we come back tomorrow. Okay? All right. So you guys have, 1 second.
15 minutes.
All right. You have about 15 minutes. Or you have to log on to your next Zoom, which I believe is with Miss Grantham.
Yep.
And you will have language from there. Alrighty. Any questions for me about math before we go today?
No, ma'am.
Alrighty. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Okay, I miss you guys. I can't wait to see y'all in person again.
Me neither.
Till tomorrow.
I can't wait for
I
everybody.
just want to say hi.
Bye.
Love y'all.
Love you. Bye, Miss Hall.
Bye, Miss Hall.